guys, so I'm back with a new video and let's talk about Too Old to Die Young. So this is kind of a different type of video. I've never done like a proper review on a series, but after watching this one I just had to. Like, this wasn't the video that I had planned. I had something else really different, but that video takes a bit longer to film and I was busy, so I thought, well, I watched this series and it's so interesting and different and I haven't seen basically anyone talking about it. I've seen like 3 reviews and it's so much to unpack, so I just thought, let's just talk about it. So let's do it. So the series that I'm talking about is Too Old to Die Young. It's a mouthful, yes. I always get it mixed like with Too Young to Die Old, but no, it's Too Old to Die Young. And it's a difficult series to sum it up, but basically it's about a police officer that finds himself in a world of violence, a world of assassins, drug cartels, and all that bad stuff. And his storyline kind of gets involved with a Mexican cartel, like really specific. So yeah, there's basically 2 storylines, the police officer and the Mexican cartel, and eventually they kind of get mixed up. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. To be honest, I don't really know what else to say because this is really like heavy and it's just a lot. So yeah. This series stars Miles Teller, Jenna Malone, William Baldwin, Christina Rodlow, and a bunch of other people. There's a lot of people in this cast, not like main characters, but yeah, there's a lot of people. But Miles Teller is the police officer and he's basically the main character of the series. Before I get into my actual thoughts, there's a few things that you should know about this series. First of all, I'm not going to spoil anything, so just, yeah. This is an overall review, so I'm not getting into specific episodes or anything. I might like suggest 1 or 2 that I like the best, but there's a few things that you should know about this one. So this is an Amazon Prime series. These like aired the whole season. It's 10 episodes and basically all the episodes have 1 hour and 30 minutes, so it's basically 10 movies. There's a few episodes that are 1 hour long, 1 hour and 15 minutes, and the last episode has 30 minutes. Like, it's a lot. It took me 4 days to actually watch the whole thing because it's heavy. It's a lot. Like, watching 1 hour and 30 minutes episodes all in a row, it's a bit difficult, but I basically split up. Like, I watched 3 episodes, then I watched 2, I watched 2, and then I watched 3. So yeah, I think it was good the way that I did it. So keep in mind, it's a really long series, and on top of that, this is directed by Nick Refn. I think that's how I say. I'll put the name on the screen, and he's known for really slow burns. Like, he's the one that did Drive with Ryan Gosling, and he also directed The Neon Demon, which is on my watch list. But yeah, I watched Drive and let's just say that I wasn't a big fan. Post that, let's get into my actual thoughts on this series. So the series was a really big surprise for me. Like, first of all, I haven't seen basically anyone talk about it. I watched 1 review and I was curious. I was curious because they defined this as a really disturbing, violent series, and I'm all about that. I like weird stuff, blood, and stuff that makes you uncomfortable. I like all of that. I like to test my limits and everything, but there was a big but. They said this was a really slow burn, which it is, and I'm not a big fan of slow burns. Some I can take, but overall I'm not a big fan. I get bored really easily, and so mm, I didn't know if I should, but like the main thing that sold me was the cinematography. They said this had like the best cinematography ever, like a really high standards, really like a movie type of cinematography, which is unusual for TV shows. So I decided to give it a go because I'm a sucker for good cinematography, and they also said the score was really good, and I also appreciate that. So there were things that really pulled me into the series, so I decided I should give it a try and know that this was a slow burn, but watch it anyways. And I loved it. Like, the more I think about it, the more I love it. The slow aspect of it really bothered me though. Like, there were a few episodes that were like really boring. For example, episode 2 like was really slow. I think was the slowest of them all, and I fell asleep 2 times watching that episode. But then there were episodes that were great, like episode 4 and 5 were amazing, mostly 5, and episode 8 just blew my mind. So you have to get into it, and keep in mind that it does get better, because I've seen people that just gave up after episode 3, but I knew beforehand because some reviews mentioned it, that episode 4 and 5 were worth it, and I usually stop watching a series after episode 3 if I didn't get into it, but with this one I just needed to push a bit more, and by episode 4 and 5 I was kind of hooked. The slow aspect still bothered me, but I was hooked and I really loved the cinematography. It really is like an amazing cinematography. The score also, like everyone was saying, is amazing, and it also has like great actors. Miles Teller was really good. Like, I wasn't a big fan, but after this I really liked him. But I think for me the best character was Jenna Malone's character. I just loved her. She only appears on episode 3, I believe, and she stole that episode, and I really liked her character, and I think she did an amazing job. And really the worst thing of this series is the slow aspect, and the plot isn't exactly like really unique, but it's okay because of everything else. As I said before, cinematography, score, actors, they all make it look amazing and be really good. And in the end, after watching this, I just kept thinking, and I knew this wasn't for everyone, but I basically can only recommend this to 2 types of people, or 3 if you're in both of those types. One is the people that really love slow burns. If you love slow burns, you are going to love this one because it's extremely slow, but it does pay off in the end. And if you love good cinematography, like I have an audiovisual degree, so I am a sucker for good cinematography. I really do pay attention to all that stuff, and if you like cinematography and all of that, you should also watch this because it's really beautiful to look at, like, really. And if you are both, if you love slow burns and if you like good cinematography, this is the perfect show for you. So if you don't like slow burns and if you are not like a really movie geek in terms of like good shots and all that, maybe skip this one. Like, this really isn't for everyone. Like, most of the times I tell people to watch all of the things that I do because I think it's stuff that everyone is going to love, but this series is not for everyone, and I think I don't know anyone that is going to appreciate this series as much as I did. So I hope you guys do, and yeah, this really is a fine piece of art. Like, this is brilliant and like stunning. And even though this type of videos is new, I'm also going to give a score, and overall I gave it a 4 out of 5 because, like I said, it's just something really different and really beautiful, and yeah, I loved it. Cinematography wise, 5 out of 5 all the way. Even if I wasn't really paying attention to the story, I was looking at the shots and just seeing how beautiful they are. And originality wise, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 because the plot isn't exactly new, but the way they approached it is different, and overall it's original. So yeah guys, this was a deeper dive into a series. I don't usually do this, but if you like overall reviews, let me know in the comments. I might do some. I just really had to talk about this series, and let me know in the comments if you're thinking about watching this show, if you've watched it already, if you think this is not really for you, let me know. And yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!